This episode is brought to you by the Thrive Tribe. Check it out at chasingbrighter.com/Thrive Tribe.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to Chasing Brighter. You are in for a treat today. And today is Sigh. It is our last episode of a very fun filled, jam packed season 3. And we hope you've listened to every episode. If you haven't, definitely check out our previous episodes. And this month of June has been so fun because we've been thinking about summer, which we love. And so today we want to talk about summer weekends and really what that ideal summer weekend looks like and to feel like a getaway without having a lot of travel stress, packing chaos, and the endless to-do list to get out the door.
Absolutely. This episode is all about slowing down, like most of our June episodes, right? Tuning in and creating a joyful, memory-making weekend and or weekends right in your backyard, local park, or even your living room, because summer doesn't mean that you have to be jet setting around the world, that you have to have a high-stress vacation. Sometimes the best weekends are the ones where we just pause, play, and feel present.
So, whether you're planning a family weekend, craving some solo recharge time, oh my God, that never happens for me in the summer, but maybe this year. And for those of us that, for those of you who do get that solo recharge time or just want to reconnect with joy and spontaneity, this episode is for you.
Yeah. Yeah. First, we just want to start with inspiration for our weekends, right? So we want to think about slow weekends, weekends where your shoulders drop, your phone gets ignored, and time seems to stretch in the best way. So we just want to talk about some ideas to inspire you to get the juices flowing on what a fun weekend would look like. So I love the idea of just exploring what's in your local area, right? Do you have local trails, parks nearby, botanical gardens? Find something, even a new cafe or farmer's market. Let your weekend be an exploration, even though you're staying close to home. I love that you could start with, for us, because it can be in the right, the triple digits. It will be in the triple digits. Start off early with a hike, and then I could go to a new cafe or a new breakfast place. And that would just be such a fun thing to do. We have so many amazing cafes and restaurants here in the Vegas area. And so looking all that up, and that would be planning like your whole morning. I love that idea. It would feel like a little getaway.
I love that too. And in Chicago, the summer, like the city comes alive in the summer. And along those lines, just finding a place to grab lunch with your family or friends that's a big outdoor patio is so fun. One of my friends was just telling me about some of the restaurants that are along the river that have outdoor seating. And just, I don't do that enough, where I think talking about just slowing down and enjoying your weekend, especially thinking about, like, mornings and middays in some ways, because sometimes evenings can get really crowded and hectic
Mhm.
out and about. I love that. Think about this, a hammock day. If you have a hammock or even just a comfy chair outside and that you spend the day there with an iced tea in the morning or coffee in the morning, iced tea midday, your favorite book, and just relaxing. If it's a little chilly, you got a jacket and a blanket. If it's a little hot, you just got your shorts and a tank top and just enjoying the day.
Yeah, and I love
Our new
to
lake house has a hammock. Our
nice.
new lake house has a hammock, by the way.
I feel
So
like
this
I
is
would hurt myself getting in or out of it or getting stuck in it, but we do have
mhm.
loungers by the pool. We're super lucky to have a pool, and some of the things I've invested in and done over the years was I do have a movie projector, and we do have a movie projector screen, but we ended up getting an outdoor television as well. So I love movies in the pool, or I was inspired years ago by something on TikTok. So I bought inflatable pools. So you can get these inflatable pools and then put blankets and pillows and popcorn and stay outside and watch a movie. What we do is the inflatable pools actually float in our pool. So I have 3 inflatable pools, and I've given the kids blankets, stuffed animals, and popcorn, and they can float around in the pool while we're
Oh, that's
watching a
so fun. I
movie.
love that.
And so that's something really fun to do, and we can just hang out at our pool. all day long, and I can make my husband the cabana boy. He likes to make cocktails. I know for us, like maybe not as much a picnic in the park for us, but we do have Mount Charleston. We do have areas in the north that are about 45 minutes away that you could get in a cooler area and go spend a picnic, go have time and a picnic there. And if you don't want to get outdoors, we have those. Have you seen those? I don't know what it's called. It's a tent that you plug into a box fan. So the box fan makes the tent stay open. Am I making sense? It blows
Yes.
into the tent and makes the tent, it's an indoor tent for children. So we've all gathered in there with the fan blowing and watched movies or had a day in there or building forts and watching movies if the outdoors isn't accessible for whatever reason. So there are also fun things you can do in the house, making s'mores, all of those things, just really thinking about what are some things that we can do to add more fun and intention to the weekend. Again, like treating your weekend as if it's a staycation.
Yeah, so one of the things that we do and we've done over the years that is really a picnic at the beach,
Mhm.
and we just load up whatever food we have to plan to eat and just spend the day at the beach and
Yeah.
let the kids do whatever they want. And it can be really relaxing just sitting there in a chair, reading a book, listening to some music, snacking here and there. So it's like everybody gets to do what they want to do. And our kids are old enough now, Jess, where, like, you take them to the beach, it's relaxing for me because 'cause I'm not worried about them necessarily,
Mhm.
keeping an eye on them, but I don't have to worry about them, like, doing anything too crazy. Although now that I said that, something probably is gonna change with that, but that's another thing that we like to do is just be at the beach in Chicago as
Yeah.
we do have beaches here, and they are very fun. They can get really crowded, so we get to get there early. Everybody has their location they like to go to, but that's such a fun day.
And it's like we're talking about, it's not about doing less. It's just about what feels light. It's about what feels lighter. So we don't want this to be this overwhelming now every weekend in the summer has to be this
Yes.
overwhelming thing. It's just what's a little bit of play that we can incorporate into our weekends. And so that shifts us to, which we had an episode about this that was a really highly downloaded episode this season, which was playing as an adult and what that looks like. So talk about things we don't do a lot, which is play.
Yes. Yes. We in our show notes, you will see a link to our previous episode about play because it's not just for kids. It's vital to our own creativity and stress relief and sense of joy. And in midlife, sadly, we often forget how to access it. We earn it, we deserve it, we are worthy of it. And I know that's really hard. It's hard for me to think about, wow, I should have fun. That if for whatever reason we get out of that, we do stuff because we do stuff for our kids that's
Yeah.
fun, but don't always think about what is fun for us. Here is your permission slip to play.
One of the things we've done is I love hiking and walking. So I've gone with the kids in the summer and then we're going for a walk and then we come home so hot. And so we all just jump in the pool with our clothes on. And so if you don't have that, maybe spray each other
Oh,
with
I
the
love that.
hose or something. But that is something that we do that can be a lot of fun. They think it's crazy when I jump in with my clothes on when I'm really hot. And even coming back from like a long day of baseball or something, being like, I'm going in the pool immediately right now. Let's go is something that's fun and silly.
I love that. One of the things that I think I wanna try this year is because we always get the bunch of balloons. We always have packs
Mhm.
of the water balloons,
Yeah.
is just doing like a fun water balloon flight with
Yeah.
the kids. Again, this is fun because guess what? Unfun Kelly is, "Oh, crap. I have to, like, clean up all the balloons afterwards when we do that." And it's stop that. Stop limiting I need to stop limiting my fun because I'm thinking
Mhm.
about all these other things that I've gotta do and just lean into those moments. Just be
Or do
playful.
water gun fight or get a whole bunch of sponges. I don't
Yeah.
know. I got those. I got these. Don't buy them, listeners. There there are these things out there that say they're refillable water balloons and they're little balls of water.
Oh, yeah.
And Gabby is still scarred to this day because she got in the pool and I threw it at her. She was coming in the pool and I threw it at her and it hurt and it made a mark that left on her body for 2 weeks and she cried. And Justin was like, "Why did you do that?" And it's like this scarring thing. It was as if I threw a baseball at her, but I got these. I thought it was like fun, throw a water balloon. And it was like they hurt really bad. Reusable water. balloons are painful and don't work. Be careful. But so I'm thinking like sponges or those balls that you can get, like they're like Nerf balls with a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
nylon
yeah.
cover.
Yes,
Get a whole
yeah.
bunch of those and put those in buckets because then you can reuse them and then you're not stressed about like the cleanup or something if that's something that stresses you out.
Yeah, even just going out, grabbing tennis rackets or pickleball rackets and just doing a little bit of something
Yeah.
outdoors, whether it's with your family or your friends. My girlfriend Brooke has said she hasn't played pickleball, and I live right by pickleball courts. And so it's definitely going to be on my summer bucket list, Brooke, if you're
Yeah.
listening, that we're going to do some pickleball at Smith Park.
Yeah.
But also just like card games outside, even some yard games. I think part of this to me is that like sometimes I've got to figure out like it's doing stuff with friends and then doing stuff with family because your kids change, their interests change. Sometimes you have to do forced family fun, whereas other times there's a lot of stuff you can do that's fun and playful with just friends or just your spouse.
Yeah, I love again, not because I know we're trying to get away from this whole identity as a mother, but because my kids don't go to camps and they're at home in the summer, I usually get a lot we're like a crafty, especially my first and final child, we love crafts. So a lot of times I buy all kinds of craft things to keep them busy in the summer. They love those. Have you seen those really simple coloring books that have been around over the last year? It's like a coloring book and it's just like an ice cream cone. And so it's thicker black lines and a little bit less overwhelming, and they're, like, touting them as, like, de-stress, but you know how
I love that because it's
you
not like
know
overly
yeah, like,
complicated
the
because the adult
mandalas
coloring book.
yes, are
Yeah.
overwhelming, so it's just, like,
Okay.
you can finish it
Okay.
in a setting. So I've gotten those books before. We love getting out friendship bracelets and making friendship bracelets. Although that is kid-led, like, child-centered because I got them for my kids, I'll get into crafts over the summer. We'll do shrinky dinks. I've gotten into watercolors because I bought some for the kids. I do on my own. So just thinking about painting, crafting, DIYing, like, just for fun.
Yeah, we having like now maybe we have access to this lake house and we're looking forward to it. You guys, it seems like such a glorious thing, but like we have to legit like reprogram our children, right? Because we're like, you're not getting a phone, you're not having electronics. And I don't, Jesse, I think they've forgotten how to play. So I think part of maybe what I'm going to have to do this summer is like really lean in to show my children they're like deficient in playing now. I've ruined
Yeah.
them with the screen time. So that's definitely something I gotta work on, but what I wanna ask you is, what did you love to do in the summer as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I'm
could you
like the
do that? What
same
how does that
person.
translate in some
I'm literally the same
okay.
person, like, literally friendship bracelets, crafts, and reading. I read so much in the summer, and I went to the pool all the time. I went with Julie, I went swimming, I did crafts, and I read a lot, so I'm the same person. How about you?
I love to swim. I love to be by water. I love to be by the pool. And whether that's translates into the beach here in Chicago, or that's why I joined Midtown because they have a beautiful pool. And I'll take the kids with me, perhaps. But I love being by the pool. So I don't think that's changed. Reading, yes. And maybe doing a lot of outdoor stuff like golfing. I love
Yeah.
doing, like, outdoor
Yeah.
activities, like, maybe
Yeah.
that was softball as a kid, and I'm translating that now to golf or tennis, which is super fun too, but doing some outdoor activities. But think about that,
Yeah. Yeah. Really
listeners.
ask
What is it
yourself.
that you love to do in the summer as a
Mhm.
kid and channel that? That's the thing is we still are that same person.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
in the pool. I was in the pool the other day, and I was, like, in kind of the shallow end of my waist, and I was moving my legs back and forth, my arms back and forth, just kinda, like, dancing like a weird dance by myself, and Gabby was like, "You're just over there, like, playing and having fun by yourself," and I love swimming, I love, like, all my kids like, "How do you float?" I just love floating on my back and having my ears underwater, and they're always like, "How do you do that? You have the perfect float," like, their legs sink, I could just float in the water, and just having fun, it doesn't have to be complicated. Joy we are trying to uncomplicate joy for you and really to think that sometimes it's just about giving yourself the freedom to be lighthearted again. And again, I think too, Kelly, I want to go back to that water balloon thing because I think it's just meeting yourself where you're at. And if the little balloon pieces, because I think about it too, are something that annoy you, it's like, don't do that. What is it that would be fun? That would be a lot of fun for everybody that you enjoyed as a kid or you enjoy doing with your kids, you enjoy doing with your friends or alone, and just giving yourself that freedom.
yeah, yes, and if we think about that, let's talk about the logistics to your
Yeah.
point. Some of us are juggling like a lot of different things going on in the summer, and even finding time for ourselves is a little bit more challenging. But here are some ideas that we had for you to think about. And so, again, this is about easy, simple, not complicated, but fun. Doesn't that sound amazing? Easy, simple, not complicated, but fun.
Yeah. And looking at it
So,
through the categories of family friendly, duo, and solo.
yeah. So family friendly, you can think about maybe a backyard camping night, whether it's making s'mores, storytelling, hanging out, playing card games. Jesse, I got Brian that solo stove for Father's Day, which is like
The little one or the
I don't
big
know, a
one?
gas,
Yeah.
the big one. And we haven't hooked it up yet. But I have
I
this
thought it's
vision
supposed
of
to
us like
be,
hanging out.
wood chips or something. No, you plug it in?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we haven't, it's in a box,
Okay.
is what I'm saying. We haven't like, taken
Yeah.
out yet, but
Okay.
it is like wood chips. And I have this vision of us doing that and sitting out on the patio and like making s'mores and just having fun. Another thing, you know what? One of my favorite memories, Jess, when we were out in Vegas at some point was when we did the DIY pizza nights and Justin grilled
Mhm.
the pizzas.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
We were just talking about that. We were like in a pizza mode for a long time. And he was like, you can get dough already made all over the place. And so he was like, I'm just going to
Yeah.
grab, he saw that Trader Joe's and actually Whole Foods as well,
Yeah. Whole Foods has good stuff.
has gluten-free dough, like balls of
Oh, okay.
gluten-free and balls of regular dough. And so we were just talking about that. I think with s'mores, we haven't done it yet, but AJ sent this to me, a reel on savory s'mores where you like put cheese on it and then
Ooh.
put it on a cracker and then do savory s'mores. So that sounds
I love
fun.
that. You know what? We
Yeah.
need to create some reels on that. I think that's a really great idea. Okay.
Yeah. I've done this before now. For us, summer's a little bit different because we're not gonna be, like, outside. Like, if we're not on our pool or at a baseball field, we're not outside because we're in heat advisory most of the time. We're talking about, like, a nature scavenger hunt. I love doing those with the kids where I give them a bingo card or whatever, you make it up. There are printables on Etsy, and then you have the kids or your whole family go outside. But there is like, a board game, like a little card game called Scavenger Hunt that you can do in the house where it's like you pull the card and it shows a red t-shirt and you have to run around the house. Kelly, something that you're really great at when you come over is really facilitating hide and go seek, which is a lot of fun. You're a master at it.
I love hide and go seek. And I think even doing it outside with flashlights can be a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorite kid games is hide and go
Yeah.
seek for
Yeah.
sure. And then thinking about whether you're with friends or partners, and this actually is a crossover too with solo, which is like sunrise kind of coffee walk, even just maybe it's a happy hour outside. So my girlfriend Nicole, we like have penciled in both of our birthdays are in May, and we've penciled in we have an obligatory outdoor patio happy hour date
That.
so that we like to enjoy that time. So that's a lot of fun to spend time with friends. I love your idea, Jess, about you're leaning into the playlists right now. We
Mhm.
have a Chasing Brighter playlist. If you guys subscribe to our newsletter on our website, you can get access to, but we get a playlist going, maybe have a backyard like lounge time, happy hour time.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a dance party if you're a dancer.
Yeah.
Is a lot of fun with friends or your partner.
Yeah. With my husband, we do like to sit in the spa with a cocktail. I like to do that. And also hiking. I love hiking. I beg him to go because I go early in the summer, like 6 a.m. We get our water backpacks on, and I do have a girlfriend, Teresa, that will hike with me. We get our girls out. So I love hiking with my partner. And then just this is really important to shift to the solo, right? What can we
Yes.
do alone that we are having fun. And I love the idea of building a mini retreat at home. I have what I call the Zen den in my office. And so I want to just start locking the doors, but I have a TV in there. I have candles. It's my office. So can you create some kind of space or like when we're talking about tents and stuff, like why can't you build a fort and read in it all day long? And I think that would be
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, create a me day with a new book. Maybe you're taking yourself out to brunch. My favorite thing is this might surprise you or maybe not. which is spending the morning at a coffee shop, outside, having coffee, bringing a book.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my all-time favorite solo things to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the idea we've been talking about journaling, creating. When we talked last year about gratitude and creativity, that book by Amy Oystriker, we talked about carrying a sketchbook with you at all times. So love the idea of going tech free, even if that's going to leaving your phone in another part of the house and just doodling and sketching. And like I've talked before, I love making beaded bracelets, getting into your crafts and just allowing yourself to have quiet time. Maybe even if it's just a meditation, maybe if you're still like working all summer, maybe during your lunch break, you create something that's really fun for you. So, what we want to end with is just asking yourself, what would your ideal summer weekend look like? Would it include a lazy morning with no alarms, a fun playlist like the Chasing Brighter playlist, on a long drive with the windows down, a solo picnic with your journal and iced coffee, an impromptu backyard game night, whatever it is, give yourself permission to design it. No airport lines, no pressure to post, just you choosing rest, play, and presence.
Let this summer be a reminder that joy can be local, weekends can be magical, and your version of fun is valid. Even
Mhm.
just having fun, let yourself have fun. So, thank you for listening and enjoy your summer.
Absolutely. Have fun and enjoy your rest.
Thanks for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe so you can hear our latest episodes as soon as they drop.
If you loved today's episode, share with a friend. Find us on Instagram, Facebook at Chasing Brighter, or check out our blog at chasingbrighter.com and follow us. If you want to know more about Kelly and I, read our blogs, find more tips, tools, and resources, check that out at chasingbrighter.com. Thanks. Remember, your best life is just a listen away.